Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Happy Wednesday. Today I'm going to be doing stages 29 to 33 of the Deagostini Collectibles release of the absolutely massive 1/6 scale Ford Mustang. Once again, it's good to see how many variations of big, massive, gargantuan I can do in this. Obviously, this is what we were working on in the last pack. Look at that compared to my head. So obviously, on this channel, we're used to doing 1/8 vehicles. This is a 1/6. So this is why it's so big. Now, today we're going to be continuing on with the chassis there. We're also going to be starting to put the leaf strings and the first axle in place as well. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description. And there's also a QR code on the screen. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So stage 29 looks like an easy one. I've had a look at this one already. It's just one plate, as you can see there. Look, I skipped a page. Let me go back a page. There we go. So we've got this plate here, which we're going to be attaching to the section that I just showed you. I'm going to have to zoom some of these cameras out, I think, and just attach this into position. So by the end of it, we have now extended on what we've done there. Not quite sure how I'm going to film this when it gets to its full size, but it was going to be an interesting one. And that first pack comes in a protective box here. So this is what it's looking like. Let's get this out. And it also comes with these DS02 screws here. Now pretty much everything on this build can be done with a PH1 screwdriver because the parts are just so big. And quite simply, all I'm going to be doing is taking this section here and just putting it over the top of this section here, like that. Held in with those DS02 screws. And what they're saying is to ensure a tight union, just to put two of the outer ones in first. I am using oil, but don't put them in tight, just so that they can all be located. Now, I am putting force down on this side as well. I don't actually want to break these exhausts here, so I'm trying not to put much pressure on them at all. But it is going to take 4 of these screws, 2 in the centre here as well, and then the last one on this side here, and then just tighten these up as tight as I can possibly get them. Now, by putting that piece in there, which again is ginormous, this is pretty much the basis of what we're going to be working on today's pack. So, in stage 30, here's the magazine, looking like this. And we're going to be doing the central chassis here. So, putting this into place, we do have some details to put on here, just like this. So, at the end, we've now got this in place. And I will continue showing you the rest of the magazine. Each stage comes with its own magazine, looking like that. And just remember, you've seen me build a Mustang on the channel before, but everything is just oversized. Look, check this out. So I've got these little clips first. These are cable retainers. Now inside here, it tells you if these clips are right or left. This one I'm holding has got an R stamped in it. Now, if you have a look at the bottom here, I've turned this over. We have got a keyhole pattern, which is going to match this. So it's going to go into here like this. And it's going to be held in from the other side with a PS01 screw. So I'm holding that in with my thumb there, and I'll get this in from this side. And make sure that's in nice and tight. And then, quite simply, we're just going to do exactly the same on the other side here. This is the left-hand side one, which just goes in there. And again, a silver screw from the other side to hold that in. Now, at this end here, where you can see these 2 lugs, I've got this silver section to put in. That's just going to go over the top of those, like that there. Once again, the silver screws to keep that into place. And then when we're happy with that, I'm going to bring over this massive section we've been working on here. And quite simply, this section is just going to be fitting over the top of this section here, like that. Now you want to ensure that those clips at the bottom go all the way through here, because that needs to sit flush on there. I want these DS02 screws, and let's put 3 of these in the back. 1 in the center here. and one on this end. Then just at the front, we're going to be putting 4 into 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll get them in now. So that's basically got that whole section in there. All we've got to do now is just support the front section. Different screw for that. These are flange screws. This is a DS12 screw. And this is just going to go into the 2 points just at the end here. And with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. That's now how big this is. In stage 31, here's the magazine. And we're going to do the lower rear axle. Looks like a nice quick stage, this one. And this is the rest of the magazine. I have to pay attention to this page here. I thought it said XR3. This is, well, pretty much this one actually is my first car. I like it. I had the Mark III Escort looking kind of like that shape, and it was white as well. But that's brought back some memories. So just hearing this jangling around in here, plastic's not going to cut it on this build because of the weight and the size of it. So everything you see here is metal. Don't know if you can hear that, but all metal. Although this section is plastic, but the main support for this is metal. Now, to start with, we've got these PS11 screws here, and you've seen me do this before. What we're actually going to do is I'm going to be putting the screws in to this section before we actually attach it to anything. So they're going to go in here. They're flange screws, and just put one in that side and put one just in the other side here. Now, looking at how quick this stage is going to be, I'm probably going to buddy this up with the next stage as well, because what's going to happen is, you see we've got this lip here. I'm actually going to be putting this eventually, probably the other way around actually, into there. Not quite sure which way round it goes. I think it does go, let me check it out. I think it goes that way round. But I'll figure that out in the next stage. We'll do that now because that was such a quick stage. And here is stage 32. So let me just confirm that is exactly what we are going to be doing. And yes, we've got the other side here with some springs. And it looks like we are, once they're in place, going to be attaching this to the chassis. So this does make this stage a lot longer now. And this is the rest of the magazine. Okay. So here's the parts for stage 32. Now this side of the axle is plastic. So we do have the metal support, but that side there's plastic. Obviously the springs I've got here are metal. So this is actually going to be going in this way. Look on the top camera there. That's the exact way that that's going to go in. Looking like that from that side. I'm just going to be putting this flange screw in now again, just on this side, because I wanted that to sit perfectly flat in there. So one in there and one in that side. So that's kind of tight in there, but we are going to make that a lot tighter when I put this side in, which just goes over the top of all of this together to hold that into place. Like that. Now I need some DS02 screws, and they're going to hold this center part into place. So one in this side and one in the other side. The good thing about having these two done first is it's now going to hold this part here into place, and then I've just got two to put into the outside here. One that side, and I'll just put one in the other side. Just this axle on its own weighs a lot because things are so big. Can I reiterate how big that is? Look, there you go. That's how big that is. International unit of measure. That's how big that is. Okay, having this way round, we're going to be putting the springs on each point here and here, like that. Bring over the chassis we've been working on, and obviously want it this way round. Now this is going to go into these points just here and here on these sides. So holding the springs in my hand, turning it over, it's going to go in just like that. So the open side of this is ready for a drive shaft to go through. Now I need one of these washers and a PS2 screw. I want to make sure that's ready, because what I'm about to do is turn this upside down. You can see this popping up from that side. Put the washer over the top and screw this in with one of the PS10 screws. So one in that side, and just do the same on the other side here. Now making sure they're in tight, because obviously the amount that that's going to have to hold, but that is all there is to do in that stage. So in the last stage of this pack, this is stage 33. Here's the magazine. And as you can see, we're now going to do the left leaf spring. So we've got all the parts here to make that leaf spring, and I'm going to be putting that into place just like that. And this is the rest of the magazine. Now, if you look at a leaf spring, hopefully on the top camera, you can see that where they're close together here, that's the front. Where they're more spaced apart, that's the rear. So we need to make sure we've got the right one in place. So first thing I'm going to do is take the rear end bracket for this, and this is just going to be going inside just like that there. Now to hold that in, we do have a metal pin which has got a rough side and a smooth side. Now normally I'm still going to do it because it's habit. I just drop a bit of oil just in the end there just to help slip this through. So it comes out both sides here. I want to ensure that it's coming out the other side. Then I'm going to use my duckbill pliers just to push that all the way in. Like that. As you can see, that's one on. Going to do the same on the other side. Now I'm looking at the other side, and this one looks quite symmetrical, so I don't think it matters what way it goes in. But that's going to go in like that there. And again, a pin just through the side here to keep this into place. Bring over this section again. I'm going to lie that down like this. Let's have it this way around actually, just like the magazine, so I don't make a mistake. And quite simply, I want to make sure I put this round the right way. So I want the rear side here to be going over here. That's going to go in this side here. And then the front will be going into this one over here. Now to hold this in, I've got some PS05 screws here. It's just a case of flipping this over, putting one in this side, and then grabbing another one and just doing the same with the rear one here. Excellent. So that leaf springs in. The final thing to do is to take this plate here, which has got a lug on this side. That lug is going to go down the center here, but it's going to align two screws into the holes either side here, as you can see on this plate here. So get that in. I've got some DS11 silver screws. I'll put one in there. And I just need to put one in the other side. Perfect. And with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. So these packs are quite quick, but because they're so big, they can be a little bit cumbersome. But as you can see, looking pretty good, isn't it? And it's massive. Remember, this is just half the car at the moment, so you can only imagine how big the finished product's going to be. Now, I think this is still available. I have put a link in the video description, and there's also a QR code on the screen, but I really hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.